What's good, YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. That fight Saturday night Thursday night with Shakur and De Los Santos. It's kind of hard for me to get that taste out my mouth. What Shakur Stevens gonna have to learn that maybe he not ready just yet, but if you're gonna be on it once you start fighting pay per view, you gotta get a fan something to look at. If not, it's hard to go backwards once you start going. Once you get the pay per view status, very rarely do a fighter go back to just fighting on regular cable. But this may be one of the few times, unless he in there with somebody like Tank or Devin, because you know, I might be the only person out here that watched that fight a couple of times. And the reason why I have watched it so much is because I had so much confidence in Shakur being able to knock this dude out. So I wanted to see what the problem was. And for whatever reason, it seemed like he just made up his mind he was not going to engage. And he wasn't taking no chances. He fought careful and on the outside, which ain't nothing wrong with being on the outside. But it is when you're not even going to throw 25, 30 punches at this dude. I don't know if the fact that Floyd and Andre Ward and all them big heavy hitters came to see him fight, if it threw him off, or I don't know what the problem was, but in my opinion, a lot of people was complaining about, well, they necessarily didn't complain, they was just saying Errol got beat up or whatever by Crawford. But I would say Earl losing to Crawford did more for him than Shakur Stevenson beating De Los Santos in the fashion that he won that fight. And Shakur is my man. But that fight right there, that's the closest thing to a paper champion you can get, other than actually being one. I mean, I just couldn't believe he fought like that, and I'm watching the fight and I see several openings where he could have stepped on the inside and start working, but I think Crawford gonna have. Shakur is gonna have to add an inside game in his repertoire. It looks to me like he want to fight one way from the outside at a distance where it seems safe for him, and I don't know how far he gonna be able to go on the pay per view status trying to fight like that. I and I do agree with him at the end of the fight where he says sometimes, they had bad fights. He brought up Floyd Mayweather, but the fight he brought up was the wrong one because Floyd dominated Baltimore. Baltimore was just big as a motherfucker, but Floyd dominated him. He made him look stupid, so that wasn't the right fight to bring up as far as in comparison. And then these dudes need to stop comparing themselves to Floyd Mayweather anyway, because they ain't done, they don't be done nowhere close to what he has done. And nowadays they don't fight that same kind of competition that the dudes fought back in the day coming up. These guys, they have it easy until they get a real fight for the most part now. And like I said, man, no, I wouldn't dare want to see a rematch with him and De Los Santos. But some people just not gonna want to play that game. You want to play and chase him around the ring all night. Really, I'm crazy. I'm real disappointed in that performance he put out. And another thing I was thinking, he better be lucky he fought somebody like De Los Santos. Had that been Lomachenko, anybody would have named. They would have took that fight from him, and he didn't lose, but they would have took that fight from him because he wasn't really fighting. Like I said, hopefully in the next couple of weeks he'll come out and explain why he fought in the fashion that he did. But I just say this: Errol Spence. Errol Spence may have lost to Bud, but one, the person he was fighting was top of the line, and two, the way the fight went down. People when they pay pay-per-view, even if it's the guy that they paid the money to see, lose. When it's a good, exciting fight and it's a knockout and knockdowns and all that, that's what everybody pay. That's what pay-per-view all about. This fight right here was that fight right there. That should have been a Friday night fight or just a regular Showtime fight. I mean, that was not a pay-per-view worthy fight. So, man, I hope Shakur can. I think he needs to change his approach. He got all the skills in the world, but I think he needs to change his approach, and he's gonna have to add some aggression to his repertoire, and he can't just be aggressive with dudes that he 3-4 times better than. He gotta have the confidence to be aggressive and go in there and punch with whoever in the ring with him, because if not, he won't have that belt long, because they'll take that from, if he keep fighting like that, they'll just rob him and take the belt from him, because it's gonna hurt. It'll hurt pay-per-view sales going out there fighting like that. And Shakur is my man. I ain't trying to diss him, but he really, like I said, I expected way more out of him than what I saw in that fight Thursday night. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, to like and subscribe. Till next time, it's your man Spill Dog. I'm out.